1051.
Power 1051, home of the Breakfast Club, Angie Martinez, that hip hop and R&B. It's your main man, EmEz. This is the Sunday Sit Down, and today's guest, a real busy gentleman out here, JW Cortez.
Yes.
Correct? I pronounced that correctly?
That was dope. That was good, yeah.
Thank you. Just wanted to make sure. So, Gotham.
Gotham.
Actually, it's a show that I kind of watch a little bit.
I appreciate that.
Yes. You want to talk about your role on Gotham?
Gotham. I play Detective Carlos Alvarez. What's really cool, and my kids actually get a really kick out of this. I'm the first human to play Alvarez. He's a comic book character. And what's really crazy, really bugged out, is I look like the dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. Was he made for you purposely or no?
My ego will say yeah. No, this dude has been around for a minute. He lived in the whole comic book genre for a couple of years. He was mostly like with the Catwoman and that sort of thing. And then when the show came out, they held auditions for this character named Detective Alvarez. And yeah, I got it.
Now, it says before you got into acting, you were a police officer.
Still am.
Currently. Oh, so let's talk about what's going on with the police. Give me some thoughts about it from a current police officer.
You know, it's really interesting that I get stopped every day when I'm on
So do
patrol from fans who, number one, learn that I'm still on the job, and number two, are confused. They're like, wait a minute, you're a detective on TV, you're a real cop, what's going on here? I still am on the job. I've been on the job a lot longer than I've been acting. Acting has been about 10 plus years, and I've been on the job now almost 15 years. Okay. And before all of that, I was a United States Marine for about 13 years. So, you know, it's a really interesting, difficult time that we're all living through. I'm a kid from Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Grew up incredibly poor. We share a lot of similarities. You know, anybody who grew up in Sunset Park or anywhere in Brooklyn or in the city knows exactly what I'm talking about. So I had one perspective growing up about what the police department was all about. Came home from the war, didn't know what to do with myself. I was a Marine for so long. I decided I would try it out. And what I've learned is that, man, you can really be someone important in someone's life, or you can totally be not be that important in somebody's life. People don't ever call cops when they want to just hang out and just talk about something. It's usually in the worst times of their lives, right? And so at that moment, it's a really special relationship. You can bond with someone. Being from Sunset Park, Brooklyn, on a block that was nicknamed by the NYPD as Little Vietnam, I live right next door to a methadone clinic. I can speak a certain way that can hopefully relate to someone when I'm in that uniform. And I think that's an opportunity, right? That's a perspective that most cops don't have. And so I use it to my advantage. And when they notice me from the show, it's even better.
Take me into the psyche of a police officer when they're pulling over somebody and it's late at night, and what are some of the thoughts that go through a police officer's mind when they're making a traffic stop?
I'm going to speak for myself, so I don't want to get myself, speaking for the other thousands of cops that are out there across the United States. Number one, I think for me, what I learned in the police academy is the two most dangerous things that any cop can do anywhere is pull over a car or go into someone's home. You don't know what's in that house. You don't know what's going on. I can tell you from personal experience that I've gone to domestic violence calls, for example, and have had both parties, the wife I was there to help, turn on me, kicked me so hard that she almost broke my ribs. And then when you pull over a car, you think it's for a taillight, whatever have you. You have no idea that this driver just came from executing his whole family, or not. Or not. He's just taking a ride, like I do, like you and I do. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go. It happened to me. I've been pulled over. You know, I was going to go to the bodega to pick up some milk for my newborn son, and I'm being pulled over. And so it's a really scary thing because you never know what's expecting you on the other end. And so I think that's part of the psyche that goes into being a cop. You just never know who's friendly, who's foe.
Gotcha. I want to linger on the cop situation that's going on across the country because you've gotten out of that situation. Yes. You're a TV cop. Do you feel that you've been typecast as a cop?
I used to think that way.
Okay.
But I tell people now when they ask me the same question, I say, well, there was a time when blacks and Latinos were always in the back of the police car. Now I'm driving it.
Okay. All right. I like the spin you put right there. JW Cortez is in the building. It's a Sunday Sit Down. It's your main man, EmEz. You say, well, you currently are still a cop. Did you always want to get into acting? What happened? How did that come about?
Man, long story short, in 1993, I had to make a really tough decision. My older brother was one of the leaders of the Latin Kings, and so I was being pulled in that direction. I wound up just pretty much escaping Sunset Park, Little Vietnam, by joining the Marine Corps. But in high school, Lafayette High School out there in Bensonhurst, I was a kid who sang in the subways. I sang in doo-wop groups. I did The Wiz was my first musical. And so acting and singing was in my blood. It's what kept me out of the streets. So that always kind of like lingered inside of my body. It wasn't until the invasion of Iraq in '03, and I always tell the story, I was basically in a position where we were being rained down with Scud missiles and we were taking fire. And in those moments, I just realized, damn, I'm a kid who had these dreams, never did anything about it, and here I am. I'm 28, I'm going to freaking die in the middle of this place, never realizing my dream. So it was a really horrible feeling. I just said, you know what, I never want to feel this way again.
That's one hell of an epiphany moment. Like Scud missiles dropping, you decide, you know what, I don't want to die doing nothing.
I'm not ready. I got things I want to do and see, and that's kind of what's been fueling me, you know, these last 10 plus years after many failed auditions. You know, many nights thinking, man, I don't think this is for me. Many conversations with the guy in the mirror saying, you know what, you just ain't got it, kiddo. It's time to move on.
It's a hell of a story, because I think most people that are successful have a story similar to yours, where you have that moment of thinking, maybe this isn't for me. But only perseverance can get you to where you want to be. And if that's your dream, what else you got to bet on it but your life, right?
But your life. I think, you know, it could be a little bit dramatic when we say, you know, our lives depend on it. But if you give it that level of importance, that three, you know, why am I here? Why do I continue to show up after audition after audition? If that why is strong enough, it'll get you through anything. And if it isn't, you will crumble. You will not succeed. You will find every other reason to get off that line, is what I say.
Now tell me about Power.
Power, man.
Season 3.
Season 3, episode 6. You know, I was telling one of my other actor friends that I went in for one of the bigger roles, and you know, I wound up getting this other role. There are no small parts in Hollywood, is what we say, only small actors. But lucky enough that I got at least a bit of this power craze that's going on. Yeah, it's dope, man. I got to act opposite of the characters of Tommy and Ghost.
Okay.
And
you shoot anybody?
And Lobos. I'm in the trailer, so I'll say yeah. But yeah, man, you know, anytime you get to flex your muscle, work with really crazy, dope actors that you admire, man. I admire these dudes. I've watched the first 2 seasons of Power like a fan. And then when you're on set, you're kind of like, this is kind of dope. I get to do what I love and get paid.
That's always a good thing, right? It's the Sunday Sit Down with your main man, EmEz. And it says here that you've been sober for 5 years.
5 years, man.
What's that like?
You know, I came from 2 different cultures, man, where, you know, as a Latino, you know, at a very young age, in the salsa parties and all that.
I was salsa last night, too, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
It just went hand in hand. And then, of course, being in the Marine Corps, coming home from the war, kind of screwed up from that and turned into the bottle a little bit too much. I just decided one day, look, man, I think I just need to, you know, give this thing a break. And you know, 1 week turned into a couple months, and now 5 years later, I will tell you this: I can go to any bar, any club, any party. I'm good, so invite me. I'll show up.
I got you.
The only time I ever get like a little bit of a craving is I don't know if you know. Do you know what coquito is?
Yes. I've had plenty of coquitos. Yes.
My man, yeah, I break out in sweats.
Yeah. That's the one thing that gets you.
That's the one thing that gets me. So I got to stay away from the coquito.
I'll be having a boat ride, so we'll make sure we have a little coquito in the back. It's the Sunday Sit Down with your main man, EmEz. JW Cortez is in the building. Excuse me. Shit, I just had a question I was going to ask you. Excuse me. Give me some of your hobbies outside of acting.
Well, I'm a dad. I got 2 little boys, Jaden and Jonah.
How old are they?
11 and 7.
Oh, I got a ways to go. I just had one too. He's about 15 months.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, man. Are you different for it?
Yes.
And that is what's really bugged out is when they do things that you think only you do, and you're like, whoa, like, you know, this whole thing I do with my eyebrows, my little, you know.
My son sleeps. I sleep on my hand, and he sleeps on his hand too. So it's just it's very eerie when they start to do the things you do. Yes.
Yeah, hobbies, man. I love hitting, you know, the heavy bag. I train with this brother named Terry Sutherland, who trains a bunch of other celebrities. So I you know, let off that way, and then you know, I'm a dad, man. So anything to do with my kids. We just got back last night from Cancun. We went zip lining. We climbed one of the Mayan temples.
I'm gonna do that one.
Yeah, you know, and I'm a dog owner, so you know, I got a 100-pound American bulldog, and we just love kicking it, man.
Okay, my two assistants, which are ladies that are outside, they made sure they wanted me to ask this question, so the guys that are in the room don't look at me all sorts of crazy. They said on Power, you have to sign a legal binding contract about nudity. Will you be nude this season? I don't want to know. Don't look at me like I'm the one but I gotta ask. So.
Oh man, you know, I was hoping for it, man. I was ready. No carbs for like a week. Headaches were on, you know, and nah, man. Raul doesn't get naked in that sense, but he gets dirty with it, and that's one for the streets.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, ladies, I've asked you a question. Get off my back. All right, it's the Sunday Sit Down. JW, thank you for coming by, man. I appreciate you. I'll be taking a look out for Power for you for this season. What else you got working on?
Gotham. We're in the middle of shooting season 3. Alvarez pops back up. This is my 17th episode, so he's still alive. I'm excited about that. Mm-hmm. Got a couple of independent films that we're working on. One that shoots in Puerto Rico named Sugarfields. And doing a whole bunch of charity work, man.
Such as?
I'm very involved with Autism Speaks, with the Boot Campaign. Anything to do with Brooklyn. I show up at schools. I talk to students. I mentor a bunch of young folks. Anything that I can do to give someone hope, and I'm there.
Got you. Because the world needs a lot of hope and compassion right now, man.
That's right, brother.
Thank you for coming by again. I appreciate you. Shout out to your Instagrams, your Twitters, and how to get in contact with you. Everything is the same. JW Cortez, Cortez with an S. Follow me, I follow you back. Thanks for the love. There it goes. The Sunday Sit Down. Power 105.1.